It is your boy, and it's early. Well, it's not early anymore. I woke up a few hours ago. But it is hot outside. It is sunny in Austin, Texas, as always. And I don't want to go outside, and it sucks that I have to work later today. Um, but we'll see how that goes. Today's video, I really wanted to talk about, I guess, just because it's still fresh in my mind and kind of what I thought about the whole process, and then to kind of look back on the same or similar product. We'll talk about that too. The big I don't even know what I'm saying now. I'm looking out my window and there's a dog outside. I don't know whose dog it is. Anyway, what's up, dog? So the Jordan Retro 1 OG in the Chicago Bulls colorway. What can I say about that other than I am so salty that I was not able to get a pair. Yes, I'm still looking. No, I'm not going to pay more than, $250 or $200 for that shoe. I think that's ridiculous to pay that much for any shoe, to be honest with you. But I guess I'm going to have to be patient. I'm going to have to take my own words and be patient, be open-minded. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Prime example, the Jordan Retro 1s are one of, if not my all-time favorite Jordan silhouette of all, out of everything. It's a classic silhouette, and I came from when I was younger. Nike Dunks and SBs, all those were popping. I had every pair that you can think of, and I was so cool with all my friends because they wanted to borrow my shoes, and I said, no, you can't, because I spent my money on these shoes. You didn't. Some of my favorite ones from back in the day were the Pee Wee Hermans. I always loved that color, just because it was super clean, really well done. The Money Cats, it was kind of out there, but that was kind of the whole game back then, was how loud can you be, and how can you match it up with your outfit, whatever. So that's the silhouette that I've kind of gotten familiar with, old school skating silhouettes. And to me, the Jordan 1, yes, it is a basketball shoe, but yes, it is also a skate shoe. I don't skate, but that's kind of the aesthetic that I guess draws me. I've noticed that in some other ones, but I just love the Retro 1 and the story that it holds. I guess let's talk about it. Oh, and then I really wanted to show you a recent pickup a few months back that I found, and I am so lucky to have this pair of shoes with this much history behind it. I'm still not sure what I want to do with it yet, but let's talk about it. Saw this shoe, as you know, I am a deal whore, if you will. I love finding shoes on the cheap. Not necessarily cheap shoes, but awesome shoes that nobody would have thought they could find for under or at retail. I enjoy finding this kind of stuff, whether it be in person, at thrift stores, vintage shops, Craigslist, God forbid, but yes, that happens as well. Even eBay. eBay, you just have to be careful because it's such a big thing and so international. Excuse me. You just have to be careful and know your product, have really good communication with sellers, or if you're selling, have really good communication with your buyers, because this is important stuff. Nobody wants to spend money on something that is not what they originally thought or what it should have been, as you stated, if you're selling something. So, what did your boy find, you ask? Since we're talking about the Chicago 1s, I thought it was appropriate to talk about this pickup that I got. Again, I am so lucky to have this. It doesn't have the original box, no original paper or anything. They sent me this double boxed in another just regular shipping box, wrapped in bubble wrap. This was straight from a vintage store out of Dallas, Texas. So it's like 3 hours up from me here in Austin. But when I saw this, I immediately jumped on it. This is the original, the actual OG Retro 1 High. Well, it's not even called a Retro 1 back then. Back in 85, when this actually came out, this is a pair from 85. I've checked the tags. As well, what's left of the tags. The tags are very worn. But I've done my research. I've been in shoes long enough to know that this pair is a pair from 1985. Not only because it's beat up, but because of the materials, the cuts and the materials, the way it's branded, the size on it. It's not on the actual tag itself. It's stamped on the inside of the shoe. There is small remnants of that. You can kind of see it in there. Maybe not. I mean, maybe you could see it right there. That's on one. The other one is a little bit more predominant. But yeah, let's get in. I was surfing the web, surfing eBay. I think I was actually looking for the Shadow, the OG release Shadow ones, original OG high top, but without the Jumpman on the back. That's kind of how they released a few years back. I think in like 2011 or 2010. But I'm really, like I've said before, I'm really into vintage product. I'm really into the lineage line or lineage stuff, stuff with a story or an athlete. And this, for a sneakerhead like me, even a collector, this is Nike, like vintage, like this is holy grail status for a lot of people. For me, yes, if it was in a little bit better condition, I would be a little bit more happy. But I am extremely ecstatic that I did get this. Saw this on eBay, was kind of surfing for another thing, saw it. I think the price it was at, it wasn't an auction item, it was a buy it now item, because the store, they have a store in Dallas, so they buy like consignment stuff and they also sell in that same facility. So it would be kind of weird if they had this priced at $100, but then they were selling it on eBay for a different amount. That wouldn't make sense. So they had this priced at $110. $110. They had this priced in their store on eBay. It had like 3 days left on it. And something, at first I was like, no, there's no way, it's a fake, and as I was communicating with this shop owner, he was extremely knowledgeable. He says he gets a lot of old school sportswear product like this, not necessarily to this, I guess, magnitude, but just in general, they get a lot of like a lot of basketball shoes there every once in a while. Some vintage clothing, jackets, shirts, different stuff. They carry a lot of hats. Like when I was looking at their store, they have a lot of like Adidas and Nike hats. So I'll check them out again. Anyway, so I kept in really good communication with him. Any pictures or any questions that I had or asked for, he immediately responded back. Again, there was only 3 days left on this. I didn't want to commit to paying for this item if it wasn't what I thought it was. Ended up, putting down the $110, which is awesome. I can't even find a re-release of this shoe in the worst version ever. I can't even find a freaking mid-top of a Retro 1 in like a basic gross general release colorway for that much, to be honest with you. So to get a Retro 1 OG, I can't explain how happy I was. Paid $110 for him. He charged me $9.99 for the shipping. And they got to my house in like a few days, like literally 2 or 3 days. That's awesome. There's regular like economy shipping. They got to my house. Whatever. They're just up the road, up I-35. So yeah, that's awesome. Just to kind of compare them to again, I did not I was not lucky enough, or sketchy enough to get some OG ones that released recently, but I do have the 2013 one, the one with the Jordan logo on the back and the ridiculously pointless leather tongue and this tagging on the front. It is what it is. I like this shoe enough. I have worn this. As much as I love history and all of that stuff, I'm, just because it has some detailing that's different doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to hate this shoe, but it also, there's something to be said and something to be respected about originality in the way that it was meant or originally released. So they're pretty much the same height, which I was expecting. The reds are a little bit different. I mean, obviously this shoe is, well over 25 years old. So, I wasn't expecting the colors to be spot on. Plus, I do know that they did not use this color red on their shoe back then. This one's called Varsity Red. I know that this color red is actually called something else. I can't remember what it is. Same story can be said for the black and red OG ones, like the bread colorway. That red is different from the OG red or even the 99 released red. So, as the years go by, as materials change, as costs change, expect those small things. It's really not that big of a deal. It does not bother me one bit. But that's kind of what I wanted to show you in comparison to this one. Again, this is not a terrible release, but I feel like Nike could have done better with that one, which they did a few years later, which is now in 2015. So yeah, let me know if what you think about this one. I originally planned when I got them, I wasn't going to do anything with them. This is more of a collector's piece for me. I was going to try to wear this to a sneaker summit or a a sneaker event or whatever, or a party, but we'll kind of see. The insoles are trashed. It has the original insoles, but they're kind of crumbling. I think there was some moisture locked into this shoe, which doesn't do it good, so it helps with the deterioration actually. But yeah, they're trash. Like, this thing has so much heel drag. Someone really had a good time in these shoes, which is awesome because that's how I treat, not necessarily treat my stuff badly, but I enjoy everything about my shoes. Maybe 20, 25 years from now, this pair will look just like this one. So that'll kind of be fun to see the transformation of the shoe. But I'll probably wear these maybe once or twice, but they've had their time. It's really not my job or my deal to kind of wear this out and show it off to everybody. It's an awesome piece to have and talk about, just because that's really what I enjoy. This was originally designed by Peter Moore. Kind of go over the history of it. Speaking of, Jordan himself didn't really like this shoe when it first was presented to him. He did get a lot of criticism, not from fans or media only, but also his teammates. People were legitimately making fun of him. They told him that they looked like clown shoes, because before that, shoes did not have more than one or two colors on them. It was usually especially basketball shoes. They were usually a white base with a pop of color on the logo, maybe a Nike swoosh or a Converse star or Adidas 3 stripes. It was just a pop of color that accented the team jerseys. So to see this on court, you're obviously going to look at this, and that was their first marketing strategy with the Jordan line, is that they really wanted it to be something eye-catching. They had the most promising player in the NBA, and what they didn't know was the history of the NBA. And so they really wanted people to pay attention. So you see this shoe running across the court, flying in midair, going across the free throw line or whatever, against a bunch of people wearing plain white shoes, you're gonna look at this shoe. So that's kind of it. Tell me what you think about the Jordan 1 and the history of it. What's your favorite shoe? If you have one, I know it's hard to choose, especially nowadays with so much stuff to go back on. And let me know if you got the new release of the OG Chicago color, and how that turned out for you. Hope it turned out better for you than it did for me. But I always love hearing these stories of, you know, your release day stories. I have plenty of them. I'm sure we'll talk about them very soon. And also let me know what else you want to see. I have a lot of stuff here, all along there, in my closet. There's a bunch of stuff, not just Nike or Jordan, but we can get into a bunch of different brands if you like. Thanks for watching. I think that's all I have for you. Let me check. Yeah, that's all I had on here for you. Again, thanks for watching. Hope you had fun. See ya on the next one.